What's up, Blizzard Nation? Welcome back to Strictly Blizzness, episode 83.
83.
How goes it today?
We have a bigger screen behind us.
We do.
Holy
Creative Edge upgrades.
Yeah.
Yep. No donuts today. So this will be our last episode.
We'll get right on that.
Not true. We don't eat donuts.
No,
and we don't
it's true.
need donuts either.
Right.
Oh, my word. So we had a little break.
Yeah.
1 week break. What'd you do on your vacation?
From Strictly? All the Blizzard things. Like, I'm not even kidding. Before I came here today, I went to the ticket computer for 10 minutes because Flex ticket holders can redeem this week before normal goes on sale.
Yeah.
So I was putting in all the school holds, the laser holds, you name it, all the stuff to make sure that two people aren't in the middle of 300 school kids.
So that you didn't,
right.
You didn't give away something.
Yep. And in 10 minutes, my goal every day is to clear my email to 50. That's a ludicrous goal. But like in 10 minutes, I was at 53 and I was at 72 when I checked my email before I got in the car to come here with you. So it is that time of season where
People
I send one and I get 30 back, which is great. So things are picking up. But I did a lot of Blizzard stuff, to be honest, in the week off from this. It's nuts right now.
I think we need to put at the bottom of our email signatures.
Yeah.
Watch Strictly Blizzness for more information.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So that you know what's going on. And social media for that matter, because there's so much stuff that we're now doing on social media.
Yep.
To get everybody to get in the mode of watching for stuff.
Yep.
Because we haven't done that historically.
Right.
We've flashed stuff here and there, but not anything of this magnitude.
So yeah, it was nuts, and I want to give a big shout out to Creative Edge and Edge VR and Werner Electric for Strictly Blizzness today. But I also wanted to shout out the front office because every intern we have and Nap and Selena it's going to be a pretty incredible season and not possible without that team. So it's nuts busy right now.
Yeah,
Yep.
I would second that. Couple of things. Selena and Nappy are really helping you to stay together.
Yeah.
And the glue.
Yeah.
But I mean, the glue of the office, the three of you, is really cool. But man, those interns and the twins especially, shout out to them. The twin turns, yeah.
Yep.
You said something last week about we're good with these twins that we get coming through the office. But these ladies, they are such great sports-minded individuals and great marketing gurus, I will call them at this point. I had a meeting with them and Selena before I went to the league meeting.
Joey Bonadonna.
I didn't say Joey yet because Joey's he's a different animal.
Scratch that.
Rewind. No, I had a meeting with them and we were talking about what their plans are for the season, and they've really got some great stuff that they put together. So that's just awesome. And Joey, and then Joey.
Yep.
Joey also has his own little podcast. I shouldn't say little because he's getting to be big time.
He is. He's going to cost us more.
He is. You really shouldn't have said that on the air because now he's going to say, hey, Ryan
he's going to have a rider now
yeah.
with M&Ms and I need a Mountain Dew up on press row. And
gosh, no. I'm just really proud of the young people that work with us and the fact that we can give them that latitude to be able to do some of that stuff because not every company would let them just run.
Right.
But we're open to ideas. We're open to new things. I mean, I'm older than you are by quite a bit. So there's stuff that I'm like, I don't know about.
I think I was supposed to say something right there. Like, no, you're not, Kathy.
No, that's all right.
Okay.
It's a true fact. It's just true.
Well, it also allows me to do more of the stuff we need me to do, too. And it's just, I mean, for the entire 9 years I've known you, it's hard to let go stuff. When we personally had to fix a lot of stuff, you're like, I don't want it to go wrong again.
Yeah.
And there's just things I don't have to do. I get asked about stuff now, and I'm like, I didn't know we did that. You can talk to Selena. Like, right? Like, so, and it's good, though, because I look at partner land and just the stuff we've been able to do in theme nights and more all in on the snow night than it was last year. Like, we just don't get to that if I don't get time to work on some of the high level stuff with you or sit and nurture more expensive or complicated partner relationships. So yeah, big shout out to all things front office land.
Good stuff. And now I kind of text Selena more often. So,
I know, right?
so last night I sent her a text saying, "What is up with that photo?"
She showed me that before I left today. She's like, Kathy texted me. I'm like, that's awesome that you guys have that dynamic now, but like, yep.
I'm like, what green was that?
Yep.
And she's like, well, there was light showing on him. I'm like, well, we could have done something about that. And she
Right.
said, well, at least
Creative Edge can fix that. Yeah.
it was just, I don't even know what that
I
green
know.
was. It wasn't a teal. It was like a seafoam
Right.
green. I mean, it looked good in the post,
There have been some,
but it's not
yeah.
our green.
Yep.
But it was our uniform.
Might have been. Yeah, might have been. Was it the League Outfitter ones then? Because those were the wrong green.
No, that's
Was
what
it the
she
Ripon
said.
one? Oh.
It's the Ripon
Oh,
ones.
boy. Yep.
It's the Ripon ones, but
Just the way the light was
it
on
was
it.
the lighting,
Okay.
and then we didn't play with it at all. And she took it out of another
The photo.
photo,
Yeah. Yep.
so that changes things as well. But yeah, I was giving her some,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah, right.
anyway. And the two greens didn't match the pants.
I
and
know.
the
Yeah.
anyway, sorry.
Well, you had a busy week.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
What can you tell us about it? Because I know there's a lot of stuff to cover, right? Personally.
What are we talking about?
Okay.
Because there's a lot going on.
The IFL stuff, yeah?
Oh, the IFL
yeah.
stuff.
Big
So-
deal. Meetings.
It was a big deal meeting. And this is the only time you're going to see me bring a script.
We didn't have a script out when we sang the 12 Days of Blizzness.
I know.
Yeah, that might have been the one.
Oh, that's true. We
Yeah,
did
yep.
because and you still didn't sing it
No,
right.
nope.
Because you were
It was an
using different
outstanding
words.
song.
No, I
You can
need
download
this.
it on iTunes.
Please tell me it's not
It's
on
not on-
iTunes.
no.
Okay. Because we don't want it on iTunes.
No, I don't even want those royalties.
I don't think we would get any.
No.
We might get
We
some
might
hate
owe
mail.
money for
Yeah,
being on
we
there.
Get some hate mail.
Yeah.
No, I needed to bring this as reference because if I had to remember all of the things
Sure.
that we voted on, I would definitely forget.
Got it.
So we had league meetings, as I had said on the last episode, and the league meetings they're a time for us to get together as owners for the camaraderie off the field.
Yeah.
But they're also a time for us to talk about the serious business around the IFL, rules of the IFL, not just rules on the field. So football is obviously the most important thing that we talk about, but there are other things within the IFL that we have to talk about. So we actually had the guys from the XFL at the meeting to talk through a couple of things. So that was cool. And we got to learn more about how they do what they do, which helps us to then line up what we're doing and telling our players. So I thought that was pretty cool that Todd had them there. And just another way of showing everybody that we are moving in that direction and that partnership with them is important to us.
Awesome.
But we did make some rule changes. And before I got here, I was talking with Corey about them and just wanted to know from him, what do you think? Was there anything that you absolutely couldn't stand?
Sure.
Or, what was your opinion on some stuff? And I'll get into that in a minute. But one of the biggest things that has changed is before we introduced the deuce into the game.
Yep.
And you had a nice sponsor for the deuce because the deuce can mean a couple of different things.
Sure can.
We can now do a deuce the entire game.
In case you need to use the restroom, it's located on.
Oh,
Well, this is a great opportunity. If you have anything to do with poop and want to sponsor the Blizzard, 920-499-2549.
We have gotten into poop talk now here on the show. Fabulous. That's where everything goes in our
And
family.
we're good. Yeah, that I
Straight to
know.
poop talk. Yeah. My husband loves that.
Wow, the whole game it's active.
Whole game
Holy
it's
cow.
active now. So-
Kickers are people too.
Kickers
So-
are going to be in demand, right?
Yep.
So along with that is, and this is the one that Corey was like, I don't know if I like that. If the ball hits the upright,
Okay. You can take it and go.
it's live.
Oh my gosh.
Now, how often do we see that happen?
Not often as people would think, actually.
But Jaws could.
Yeah.
Remember, Jaws
Yeah.
had that video where he could hit.
Doink, yeah, the trick shots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, would you use that as a strategy? I don't know that I would use that as a strategy because you could get the ball, you miss the kick, you could get the ball, and you could run it into the end zone.
Sure.
The chances of you actually being the one that
Right.
recovers it, though, because that ball, you've seen squib kicks.
Yeah, and if you miss, they get the ball at that rule changes the amount of times that you kick it into the stands, right?
Right.
That's the one that The second time it happens, it start at the
Right.
So if you miss the upright, you could be penalized giving the team half the field or whatever. So, this is the first I'm hearing of those. Those of you guys
so
look at my bewildered look here. So
well,
crazy.
And as we were voting on them, I mean, there was a group of like 7 or 8 where Todd said, we're going to vote on all of these at once. And I'm trying to find them in the rule book.
Sure.
I'm like, are you going in order? And he's like, well, no, I'm not going in order. I'm like, oh my, because when we review stuff like that, I want to think about how does that affect us? Let me get that. And let me get a visual. Oh my gosh, that could do this, and that. So anyway,
Crazy.
this is one for the football fans. A motion player may be in the box at the time of the snap, but must be moving parallel. And I talked to Corey about this, and he's like, well, I get it. There were times where, and this is to simplify for the refs.
Okay.
So this one in particular, because not every field has that angle.
Yeah.
There were guys that were being called too soon, too late. It just made it
Based
a mess.
on when
out
they're
of the box.
motioning?
Right.
Sure. Okay.
Timeouts will be 30 seconds,
As opposed to?
60.
Oh, okay.
Unless you signal that you need a 60, then they'll give you a 60. Which to me, this rule says everybody's going to signal.
Does that affect? Promo timeouts are still 90 seconds and can be called when they're supposed to. Yes.
Well, that I don't know.
Okay.
No, promo, that's different.
Okay.
This is
that's like a media timeout in the NFL.
that's like a media timeout.
Okay.
So no, this is I call a timeout. I have 30 seconds unless I do like a
Sure.
60 that
Got it.
I don't know, because Corey's like, well, everybody's just going to take 60.
Yeah.
That's kind of silly. Well, he's right. I
Sure.
mean, that's trying to speed up the game.
Yep.
So that we get back to this one is going to be interesting. As soon as the umpire spots the ball, the clock starts for 25 seconds. The play clock starts. So I don't know if you remember, sometimes they'd place the ball, they'd kind of back up to the
And
sideline.
then they give the don't land here. Like
Yeah. They might adjust themselves or talk to a fan behind
Sure,
them.
yeah. Grab a popcorn and then start the clock.
There was some.
Okay.
I told Corey, I said, you need to make sure your players watch the spot of that ball because even if the umpire forgets about it, we have to make sure that our people that are actually doing the play clock
so that
understand
affects
that.
press row. That one's relevant to my world.
That's very relevant. If a coach tries to challenge a non-challengeable call, he will be charged a timeout.
Okay.
So this to me is very important from the ref side of things because Corey brought up an interesting point. He said, hey, when we were in Frisco, we challenged something. They told us it wasn't challengeable. Then at halftime, they came out and said, oh, we made a mistake.
Sure. We give you the timeout back, like when it's too late because your timeouts have already set.
Well, and we lost. It was a scoring play,
Sure,
it was detrimental to us. So we just need to make sure, again, a lot of these rule changes that we went over were to speed up the game, but also to get closer to the NCAA rules so that it would be easier for refs to transfer into our game. Let's see. Positive yardage rule in the last 60 seconds of the game has been eliminated. You
now can just run out the clock without moving the ball forward?
You didn't have to have positive.
Not going to bring up a sore subject, but that would have affected 2019.
You think?
So, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you're that far ahead...
Yep. So you can take a kneel in the NFL now, essentially, and run the clock, or you don't have to run a forward moving play?
We didn't talk about you don't have to have positive yardage.
Okay.
Now, you're going to be very safe with that ball, right?
Yep.
You're not going to risk giving it away at that point. Let me see, what else do we really need to? This one could hurt a lot of teams in our league. But yet I think it's a good thing. So as we strive to have our game look more consistent from feed to feed, as we strive to look more like a Sunday night game, a Sunday game of the NFL, uniforms have always been an issue. Now, I have watched a game, both being played against us, but then also just watching a game on a weekend, texting Todd saying, you've got to be kidding me. How can that guy be on the field with his entire side exposed because he ripped his jersey open for more room? Obviously, it was too tight, so he ripped it open. And you can see that he cut it or tore it, right? or the ones that come off in booty shorts because they like the feel of the tighten and the pants are just too much. You can't do that anymore, players. So as owners, we got to get stuff that fits if that was the issue. But then also the refs can stop a player from getting on the field.
Holy cow.
So no more cleats. There were people that were wearing actual, not turf shoes, but cleats and tearing up people's fields. So no molded or screw-on cleats, no hoodies, socks that are not similar in color and pulled up to the top of the pant. They can tell you, go back and get some socks. Pants that are cut to the thigh, an untucked jersey with a discolored undershirt noticeably showing underneath. So you'd see that. You'd see the jersey would end and then the shirt would be hanging down. Any other noticeable uniform in violation. And then coaches may only wear approved apparel. So they have to have colored shirts on, pullover jackets. Anything else must be approved. There will no longer be hoodies, T-shirts, or long sleeve shirts on the field.
Got it.
So again, that's a professionalism thing and trying to get everybody to, well, bring up their game for our game. So that's the long and short of it.
Very cool.
I can't think of, this one kind of affects us. But, when the coach is out there and you normally have the quarterback run over and get the call, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And you'd see the whole offensive line just kind of come over with. Yeah, they can't do that
just
anymore.
Quarterback?
Just the quarterback. Okay. Or just one player. Not necessarily the quarterback, but would think it would be the quarterback, right? To find out what the play call is. And really the thing there is that you had time to practice with them all week. Sure. They should know what plays. Because you've been reviewing film of that particular team, you should know what's in the hopper to be called. That's also why we have the wristbands. There's lots of different reasons why. One of the, and this is dirty laundry that I'm airing, but it's cleaning it up so that everybody understands. No more players on the field acting like coaches.
Okay.
No. You're a player or you're a coach. You can't be both. And coaches, if you're going to be on the field, you have to abide by the rules of the field.
Okay.
So that was just to be enforced because we've had it didn't look good when you had a guy come off the bench and come out on the field and coach. And even an injured player can't be a coach. They're either a player contract or they're a coach contract. They can't be both. I think that's all I got. That really is, affecting what we usually talk about.
And I think we had talked before. Tell us what you think, Blizz fans, of rules and changes
or even better, what you think should be changed. Yeah. I mean, these are the ones that we talked about that, again, were either calls that would get messed up or they were calls that weren't necessary to the game. So we're trying to, again, we're trying to get the game to mimic more of the NCAA. I get that off the goalpost doesn't. I get that the deuce doesn't. But we have to have some fun things too from an indoor perspective. Will that make it crazy? Absolutely, it'll make it crazy. Having the deuce throughout the whole game brings the points up. Does that sell more tickets?
We'll find out.
I don't know if it does.
Tune in next week.
Does it make things more exciting? Yeah, it might make things more exciting. So, all good stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was one day.
Yeah. And
it was just a super long, crazy day. I got to be the timekeeper, so I would have an alarm go off, which was an air raid siren, which people couldn't hear. Usually when I hear that thing go off, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so loud. They were talking so much that I sometimes didn't hear it, but it was a good meeting.
Great.
It was a good meeting.
That's exciting. So
very exciting. And then we got to go see the Dallas Stars. Hockey. I know nothing about hockey, I'll be honest with you, other than there's a stick and a puck and where it has to go. But I'm like, so what's happening right there? Why is that what's happening?
Awesome.
I will say that, we have three. We have three coaches that sit in those owners meetings so it's owners, but then it's also we assign delegates for ownership. So
Sure.
you've had to wear that as an
Yep.
alternate. So it's normally just, who's ever in charge of the organization and then owners. And we have four coaches really that are in that room. So Duke City, Gina has her coach as a GM in there. I believe that's what he is a GM. Mike Davis pretty much runs the Vegas organization. Obviously, Kevin Guy runs on behalf of Ron the Rattlers organization. And then we had Billy back in there as well, representing Frisco. Those guys, coaching is a tough thing to do, but these guys are doing sales.
Yep.
They're doing management, operations. They've got their plates full. So hats off to all the coaches in our league, as well as these guys that are doing double duty. And, the same thing happens up in San Diego. Their head coach is going to have some more responsibility. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? If you have a coach that's with your team year round and is involved in all the operational things that are happening, I think that's a great thing.
Sure. Yeah.
To just employ a coach because you want to have a coach around, they should be doing something. And these guys definitely, they raise the bar in my mind. They really do. And they're great guys. I still call Billy a troublemaker. I will till the day that I'm not in this league, just because I like calling him that, and he doesn't care.
All right.
And then Mike just makes me feel very short.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
He's a really big guy.
Yep.
You can tell he played football. And
Yes.
he's expecting a little one.
Really?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Him and his wife are expecting their first. And he was telling me how when she goes into labor, he's going to maybe have to ditch a game because it's when the season starts.
Wow.
And I went,
Yep.
you had best make it to the hospital. And he's like, I told her,
Right.
you're feeling any kind of contractions,
Yep.
you need to call me. So good luck to them.
Awesome.
I think that's all I have in IFL land.
That
was a lot.
That was a lot in a good way. So that's why we do this.
Yeah. So again, let us know what you think of those rule changes. None of them are so insurmountable that you don't know what we're talking about. But if you think there's something else that you've always been confused by, or you want clarity on, in such and such game, we were called for this. What even was that? We have too many fans that watch our game and don't understand why a ref is making a call. And we want to get that out before the season starts for everybody. The IFL as a whole and the league office are going to try and get some clarity out there about some of those rules to why we do what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I think we're cruising time-wise, right? I think I'll give this
over.
Yeah, I'll give the 60-second here's what you need to know in Blizzard World. So you're probably a week out from single game tickets. So pay attention for those going on sale next week, Monday, 10 a.m. Kathy and I should be sporting new merch also in 1 to 2 weeks. It is ordered on the way in. And on the home opener, you'll see everything out there, but we are definitely encouraging fans to wear white for the whiteout. So all white game jerseys, white football, it'll snow, white light up BAM sticks, white snow globe giveaway. There will be a freeze field whiteout shirt that night. We made a $5 whiteout Mountain Dew and white cheddar popcorn concession deal. So I actually got the restaurant to bring in whiteout Mountain Dew for that night on Whiteout Night. So
that's really cool. So please buy it.
Yeah, $5 for a popcorn and a dew. So we're all in. We want it to look awesome that night and snowy, and so we'll probably hit that PSA a lot because I think it'll be cool.
That's Billy, isn't it?
It is. So I will call Billy probably tomorrow and be like, "Hey, you need to wear the darks." So
his mom is coming to that game.
She is. Yep.
So we need to make sure that we have a full arena, very loud.
Yep.
She gets to see it snow.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yep.
That should be an exciting game. It should be an exciting game. I'm looking forward to the start of the season.
Yep.
I'm actually coming back from
Cabo,
Cabo to see the game and then going back to Cabo. So, because my husband loves Cabo.
Yes.
Yeah.
This I know.
Yeah. What else do you know?
That was the speed round, right? Because it'll get a ton of content coming up as merch comes, ticket deals, you name it. But we're in the thick of it now. So
awesome.
Yep.
Very cool. All right. We got anything else that we need to talk about?
Ant-Man soon. But
Yeah,
yep.
Ant-Man's coming down the pike here.
Yep.
Couple other movies that I think we'll go see, but Ant-Man's probably
For
the
sure.
most. We got to get that book, just so you know.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Anything else?
That's what I got.
All right, then.
Should we hit him with it?
Let's hit him with it.
Go
Go
Blizz.
Blizz.
Don't forget to like, follow,
Subscribe
share.
and ring that notification bell to get all of our content in your inbox.